What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we are going to be looking at my transfer plans for game week 5, and we do have a lot of things to discuss because right now things are not looking good and I'm struggling. I'm struggling. My rank is absolutely finished. I'm ranked at about 3.2 or 3.5 million. I don't even know. I don't even care. All I do know is that it's looking bad at the moment, right? And things need to improve. Things have to improve. So we're going to talk about my team, but before I do get into that, guys, make sure you do smash a like on the video. If we could get 100 likes, that would be absolutely sensational. But with that being said, let's just dive straight into it, man, because we have a lot of things to discuss. So yeah, first things first, what I want to do is have a look at my current team, right? My current lineup for game week 5. So as you guys can see on screen, this is what it looks like. We've got Sells in goal, Murillo, Dorgu and Pedro Porro as the defense. Then we've got Brian Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, Mohamed Kudus, Morgan Rogers, and then a front three of Chris Wood, Ollie Watkins, and Erling Haaland. And then on the bench, I've got Dubravka, Reinders, Tosin, and Ronaldo. So that's currently what my team is looking like at the moment. To be honest with you, I'm not feeling too confident about this team for game week 5. I have to be totally honest with you guys, especially because I've got no Liverpool player, right? And Liverpool are playing against Everton at home. I've got no Liverpool attacker, no Salah, no Ekitike, no Gakpo. And I think a lot of people are going to be captaining Liverpool players this week. And I feel like I could miss out a lot, right, from that fixture. So yeah, listen, the first thing I want to talk about though is potential issues with this team. Now, as you guys can see, I've still got Ollie Watkins. I've still got Morgan Rogers. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I think the plan is still to keep them. I think the plan is still to keep them. Now, hold on a second. Before you start getting angry at me, before you start calling me stupid, before you start calling me deluded, just hear me out for a second, right? Let me tell you why I think I'm just going to keep Watkins. Let me tell you why I think I'm just going to keep Rogers. Honestly, it's got so bad, and I've had them from the very, very beginning. I'm almost scared to take them out. I'll be honest. I'm almost scared to take them out, guys, because I just feel like the moment I take them out, with the fixtures that they have, they're going to return. It's been 0 goals, right, in 4 games so far this season for Aston Villa. But at the same time, I honestly do believe that at some point, they've got to score goals. Surely they have to, guys. And if Aston Villa are going to score goals, for me, I'd say it's going to be either Ollie Watkins or Morgan Rogers, right, to be involved in the goals and assists. That's why I do plan to keep them. And as I said, because I've had them from the start, it's almost like I've experienced so much pain, right? I've invested so much into these players and they've failed me massively. I don't want to get rid until they actually do something. Like, before I get rid of these two absolute bums, they have to return in FPL for me. They have to, and as simple as that. It might be stupid logic, and I can completely understand if you guys think it's stupid logic, but honestly, I just can't get rid of them. I can't. It's Sunderland away in game week 5, then Fulham at home in game week 6, and then Burnley at home in game week 7. I think for the next 3 games, I just have to keep Aston Villa players. I really, really do. So, yeah, I think at the moment, guys, what I'm experiencing with the Aston Villa players is probably something that you call sunk cost fallacy, right? This is probably what I'm experiencing right now. Let me tell you what the definition of this concept is, right? The phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they've invested heavily in it, even when it is clear that abandonment would be more beneficial. This is what I'm experiencing right now, guys. Sunk cost fallacy. Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers, they stunk out the gaff week in, week out. But I've invested too much now. I refuse to take them out. I refuse to abandon these players. Even though it's probably the logical idea, I refuse to do it. Because I deep down think the moment I take these 2 frauds out my team, they're going to return. Especially with the fixtures they have. So ultimately, yeah, Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins, I think they're staying, bro. I think they're staying, and as simple as that. So, yeah, more pain. Bring on the pain. That's all I can really say. Bring on the pain. But another issue I do potentially have with my team, right, is Matheus Cunha. Now, I really am hoping Matheus Cunha is back fit and ready to start this game against Chelsea at home because it's a very, very nice fixture, right? I have to be honest. It's a fantastic fixture. But what I'm going to do with Cunha is just simply wait. Now, I do want to keep Cunha. I do want to keep Cunha for the next sort of set of games that Manchester United do have, even though we got destroyed by Manchester City and we looked pretty poor. I actually don't mind our next 3 games, right, up until game week 7. I think we got Chelsea at home next, of course, in game week 5. But then after that, we've also got Brentford away and Sunderland at home, right? So for me, I just think, yeah, if Matheus Cunha is fit, I'm happy to keep him up until game week 7. And then game week 8, I'd probably use my wild card if I'm being totally honest. So yeah, if Matheus Cunha is fit, I want to keep him. However, If we get news after the press conference that Matheus Cunha is not fit or he looks like a doubt, I will definitely remove him. As you guys can see, looking at my team, there is no Anton Semenyo, right? I think for me, Semenyo is just the obvious player to go to. Well, it's between two players, Semenyo or Gakpo, right? In terms of, so when you look at the fixtures, right? The reason why I would potentially want to go for Gakpo is for captaincy, but I think Semenyo is a better long-term pick. So it would definitely be between Semenyo or Gakpo. I'm leaning towards Semenyo more because he is just the FPL king right now, bro. Semenyo is cooking week in, week out, scoring goals for fun. So I really do like Semenyo as a pick. However, the reason why I'm also considering Gakpo is because when you look at the fixtures, guys, I just feel like Liverpool at home to Everton is a good fixture for captaincy. Other than that, honestly, I don't know who I can trust. I can't go Haaland away to Arsenal. No way. And I can't do Watkins because Aston Villa are atrocious. Like, owning Watkins is enough. No way on God's green earth am I captaining Ollie Watkins against Sunderland, right? So when you look at the fixtures, it's not really great. I mean, Chris Wood against Burnley is potentially a captaincy shout, but again, Nottingham Forest are a bit unknown as a team right now, given that Ange is their manager. So I'm just a bit unsure if I want to captain Chris Wood. So I feel like Gakpo or a Liverpool attacker is a very, very good shout for captaincy this week. So that's the main reason why I'm considering Gakpo, because I think my team is lacking a clear captain, if I'm being totally honest. So yeah, I mean, if Cunha's not fit, it's between Semenyo and Gakpo. That's all I can really say. I prefer Semenyo long term, but Gakpo this week specifically for captaincy. So yeah, that's that. But look, if Cunha's fit, like I said, I plan to keep him because I actually do like the Man United fixtures. Now, in the case where I do keep Cunha, I'm a bit like, again, for captaincy, I'm not too sure. It would probably be between Brian Mbeumo and Chris Wood, if I'm being totally honest. I'm not going Haaland. I know he's got the form, but away to Arsenal's tough, right? So I'm not going Haaland. I'm not going Watkins. For me, it would be between Brian Mbeumo or Matheus or Chris Wood for captaincy in game week 5 if both Cunha and Mbeumo are fit to play. So yeah, that's that. Now listen, with the defense, I'd say Murillo as well. I just want to wait to see what Ange says on Murillo. I don't think it's a long-term injury. I actually do expect him to be back for the Burnley game. So yeah, if he's not and Ange says that, you know, he's not fit to play, I'd probably just roll the transfer still and maybe sub in Tosin, right? Maybe sub in Tosin, for example. I think that's what I would do. I think Tosin's got decent DEFCON potential against Man United away from home as well. I do expect Chelsea to concede against us, but yeah, I don't know if I really want to be moving to a defender, making a defender transfer this week. I think an Arsenal defender would be good, but against Man City this week, when I've got Erling Haaland in my team, it's not really ideal. So I'd probably just bring in Tosin or Ronaldo off the bench. That would be the plan with Murillo. So yeah, at the moment, that's just what my thoughts are really in terms of transfers and captaincy for game week 5. Yeah, on paper, I'm not going to lie, man, I'm not really confident with my team. You might be thinking, should I wildcard this week, you know, with this team? But I just don't like it. I don't like it. I've looked at wildcarding this week. I've built a team and it just feels wrong removing, you know, my Nottingham Forest players when they got Burnley and Sunderland in the next 2. It feels wrong removing my Aston Villa players as bad as they've been with, you know, Sunderland and Burnley in the next 3 games. Kudus has good fixtures. Spurs have good fixtures. I think United have decent fixtures. Like, honestly, based off fixtures, I don't think my team is bad, but the form is where my team is struggling right now. The form is really bad with the team. But yeah, I think I'm just going to try and be patient. I'm not going to wildcard, and ultimately my plan this week is to roll the transfer. Alright guys, so let's quickly have a look at some future transfer plans and what we're working towards with my team. So of course, this is what the team looks like in game week 5. Now, we're going to assume that Cunha is fit to play, right? And in the scenario where Cunha is fit to play, I'd like to roll the transfer, right? And this is what the team would look like, of course. Now, in game week 6, yeah, this is the team. So in game week 6, the team looks quite good, if I'm being totally honest, on paper, of course. Now, first things first, I would definitely bring in Reinders, right, for Morgan Rogers, right? I'd bench Morgan Rogers at home to Fulham. I'd also start Tosin and bench Dorgu playing against Brentford away. And that's how my team would look for game week 6. We got triple Nottingham Forest, right, against Sunderland at home. We got Sells, Murillo and Chris Wood. We've got double Spurs against Wolves at home, Tosin against Brighton. We've got double United against Brentford away, double City against Burnley at home, and then Watkins against Fulham at home. Honestly, on paper, the team looks really, really good. And there is also, by the way, potential that I use my triple captain in game week 6 as well, by the way, guys. I do want to let you guys know that. So, yeah, definitely something I am considering. Now, moving on to game week 7, this is where I would sort of make some transfers, right? Because as you can see, we've got triple Forest against Newcastle away from home. So, first things first, let's sort out the starting 11. Dorgu comes back into the starting 11 for Tosin, who goes to the bench. Morgan Rogers comes in because he's playing against Burnley at home. And I'd obviously bench Chris Wood. Now, in terms of transfers, as you can see, we've got 3 free transfers. So my plan here would be to potentially double up on the Arsenal defense. As you guys can see, right, Arsenal play against West Ham at home. And that's a pretty good fixture on paper, in my opinion. I've got 1.3 million in the bank. So what I potentially could do is a double move, Sells and Murillo out for David Raya and Gabriel. So I should have enough to do that, just about, right? Gabriel, yeah, there we go. So yeah, that's potentially what I could do for game week 7, and the team looks really, really nice again on paper for game week 7. I actually do like it a lot. Double Aston Villa still against Burnley at home. Hopefully at this point they can get a return. Triple United against Sunderland, double Spurs against Leeds, double Man City against Brentford, and of course double Arsenal against West Ham at home. I don't mind it at all. Then in game week 8, this is probably where I wildcard, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, right? I wouldn't be surprised if I do wildcard in game week 8 because I've got, you know, Chris Wood against Chelsea. I got double United against Liverpool, double Villa against Spurs away. Yeah, I think in game week 8, the team needs a wildcard. So at the moment, this is what I'm thinking in terms of, you know, transfers leading up to game week 8. I am strongly considering sort of just wildcarding in game week 8 because I think at this point, you know, Chelsea have a fixture swing, for example. If you look at someone like Cole Palmer, from game week 8 onwards, it's Forest, Sunderland, Spurs, Wolves, Burnley, Arsenal, Leeds. I like the Chelsea fixtures a lot. And I just think game week 8 is not a bad entry point, especially for an attacker, given the fact that Nottingham Forest are now playing under Ange, a much more attacking mindset manager, right, compared to Nuno. So I actually look at this fixture as possibly not bad for an attacker. So yeah, I think game week 8 right now is probably the week I look to wildcard, if I'm being totally honest. So yeah, that's currently what I'm thinking at the moment. But if we quickly go back, right, to game week 5, assuming that Cunha isn't fit to play and I have to make a transfer, right now I am favouring, let's just say I put Semenyo, because I think right now, even though Gakpo's a great captaincy shout in game week 5, I am leaning towards Semenyo. So let's just say, for example, I do Cunha to Semenyo. The transfer plans will remain exactly the same. So it doesn't really affect my future moves too much. I think the only way I'm affected is instead of carrying, I'm basically one transfer down if I do Cunha to Semenyo, and basically that would mean after I wildcard, instead of having 2 free transfers, I would only have 1 free transfer. That's it really, which I'm not really too bothered about. So yeah, a move from Cunha to Semenyo is definitely on the cards. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but as I said, I'm hoping that Matheus Cunha is fit to play. But yeah, that's overall sort of what I'm thinking with my FPL team at the moment, guys. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments, what do you think of my transfer plans? Should I wildcard? Should I not wildcard? Should I keep Watkins? Should I sell Watkins? Let me know what your opinion is on sort of my situation at the moment. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys do smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well. And yeah, man, it's been your boy FPL Ryan, and I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, I'm out. Peace.